Felix froze during a paid fan call. A fan looked at him and said, "I am the dessert," for 1 second. You could see the shock on his face. He kept smiling because in K-pop, idols often have to. But his eyes changed, and that moment tells you everything about the problem we need to talk about today. This is not just about rude fans, it is not just about awkward moments, and it is not just about people being too passionate. This is about the point where fandom crosses the line, the point where support turns into harassment, the point where admiration turns into danger. And when that happens around a group as big as Stray Kids, we have to ask a very uncomfortable question. At what point does a fan stop being a fan? Stray Kids are one of the biggest boy groups in the world. Their rise has been huge. Their tours sell out, their records keep breaking, and their bond with Stay has become a major part of their identity. But the darker side of that bond is getting harder to ignore. The same system that sells closeness also creates entitlement. The same industry that profits from emotional connection also creates people who forget that idols are human beings. Some fans no longer see artists as real people with limits. They see them as fantasy figures. They see them as emotional property. They see them as targets, and once that mindset starts, the damage grows fast. It usually starts online. That is what makes it easy to ignore. There is no blood. There is no broken barrier. There is no dramatic headline. There is just one call, one comment, one moment that looks small from the outside. But it is not small for the person trapped inside it. That is exactly what happened to Felix. The call began in a normal way. They were talking about food and desserts. Then the tone shifted. What sounded harmless at first quickly became sexual. Felix tried to answer in a normal way. Then the fan pushed further and said, "No, I mean an I am the dessert." That was not cute. That was not playful. And it was not harmless. It was sexual harassment disguised as fan interaction. What makes it worse is the power imbalance. Felix could not simply end the call. He could not react too strongly. He could not risk creating another scandal from a clipped reaction online. So he did what many idols are forced to do. He stayed polite. He endured it. He smiled through it. That is not healthy fan culture. That is a system that leaves idols alone in uncomfortable situations, while expecting them to stay professional no matter what. And this is where the K-pop industry needs to be honest. The system sells intimacy. It sells access. It sells emotional closeness. It sells the fantasy that the idol sees you in a special way. But when fantasy is pushed too far, some people stop respecting reality. They stop seeing a boundary, they stop seeing a person. So here is the first serious question. If a fan makes a sexual comment in a paid video call, should the call be cut immediately? Because if the answer is yes, then why are idols still being left to handle those moments by themselves? Felix is not the only example. Bang Chan has also had to defend something even more basic. His own body during one of his live broadcasts. A fan comment told him, "Chan, don't get fat." That one sentence says a lot about the pressure inside K-pop. Idols are expected to look perfect all the time. Their bodies are constantly watched. Their weight becomes public discussion. Their appearance becomes something strangers feel entitled to judge. What made this moment powerful was Chan's response. He did not explode. He did not laugh it off. He calmly said that there's nothing wrong with being fat. He even spoke honestly about his own struggles with weight and metabolism. It was mature, it was thoughtful, and it was deeply unfair. Because he should never have had to explain his worth to a stranger in the first place. This is what toxic beauty culture looks like in real time. Fans do not just consume music or performances. Some of them start believing they have the right to control how an idol looks. They speak as if they are managing a product, not talking to a person. That pressure does not disappear after the live stream ends. It follows the idol. It affects self-image, it affects health, it affects confidence, and it adds one more layer of stress to a life that is already under constant public surveillance. So now, we already have two forms of violation. First, sexual harassment, then body policing, and if you think it stops at words. This is where the story gets worse. Because the next stage is physical danger. For stray kids, airports have become some of the most dangerous places they go. These are not stages, these are not protected performance spaces, these are crowded public areas where people are tired, rushed, and already difficult to control. And still, fans swarm them again and again. One of the most disturbing incidents involved Han. In the middle of airport chaos, he was shoved so hard that he fell to the ground. He was clearly in pain. He was vulnerable, and the crowd did not stop. They kept pushing, they kept filming, they kept moving forward. That detail matters because it shows a complete breakdown of empathy. The moment someone sees a person fall and chooses content over concern, something has gone very wrong. The same pattern appeared in another incident involving Felix. He nearly fell as the crowd surged around the members. At that point, stray kids were not just moving through an airport. They were trying to survive a dangerous crush of bodies. And when Bang Chan later removed his bubble profile picture after the chaos surrounding these moments, many fans saw it as a silent sign of frustration and exhaustion. What kind of industry allows this to keep happening? That is a key issue here. The escalation is real. It starts with invasive words, then it becomes pressure on the body, then it becomes danger in public, and after that, we reach something even darker. Because the final stage is not just obsession, it is malice. In July 2022, threats against a Stray Kids concert in Oakland became so serious that law enforcement had to get involved. That is not ordinary fandom behavior. That is not online drama. That is a threat serious enough to raise fears about real violence. Even though the concert passed without tragedy, the psychological weight of that situation must have been enormous. Imagine stepping on stage, smiling at thousands of people while knowing that someone may have wanted to hurt you. That kind of fear does not simply disappear when the show ends. And then there were the laser incidents. Green lasers were reportedly pointed at members during public events, including Bang Chan, Felix, and Lee. No, some people try to dismiss incidents like that, but context matters. A laser aimed at someone's eyes is not a harmless joke. It can be threatening. It can be dangerous. And when fans online talk in ways that suggest coordination or intent, the entire situation becomes even more disturbing. By that point, we are far beyond the idea of overly excited fans. We are talking about artist safety, we are talking about crowd control, we are talking about blacklists, venue screening, and corporate responsibility. And that leads to the most uncomfortable truth in this entire story. Yes, Zessying fans are part of the problem. Yes, antis are part of the problem. Yes, individual people who cross the line are absolutely responsible. But the system that keeps rewarding access without enforcing boundaries is also part of the problem. K-pop agencies love closeness when it sells albums, tickets, subscriptions, fan call entries, and engagement. They love the business of intimacy. They love how powerful emotional connection can be. But when that closeness turns ugly, too many companies respond the same way. They release a statement, they promise action, then the cycle continues. That is not enough. If a fan sexually harasses an idol on a call, the call should end. If someone repeatedly violates boundaries, that person should be blacklisted. If an airport is known to be unsafe, private exits should be standard. If a venue has a history of threats, security should be serious and proactive. Otherwise, what message is being sent? That artist safety matters less than fan access? That money excuses bad behavior? That idols should keep enduring anything as long as the business model remains profitable? Because that is what it starts to look like. And that is why this topic hurts real fans so much. The most painful part is not only that strangers behave badly, it is that the people who are supposed to protect these artists often seem too slow, too passive, or too comfortable with the risk. So, for a moment, let's remove the branding, the records, the headlines, and the glamour. These are 8 human beings. They are not fantasy partners. They are not emotional support machines. They are not avatars. And they are not public property. They are artists. They've already given up privacy, freedom, and much of a normal young adulthood in order to live under an intense spotlight. The very least they deserve is safety. The very least they deserve is respect. Maybe being a true stay is not about being the closest. Maybe it is not about being the loudest. And maybe it is not about demanding more access. Maybe it is about knowing where the line is and refusing to cross it. Because if love turns into entitlement, humiliation, swarming, touching, threatening, or endangering, then it is no longer love. So now, I want to ask you something. Should agencies immediately blacklist fans for sexual comments, airport mobbing, and laser incidents? And what is the bigger problem here? Is it toxic individuals? Or is it an industry system that helped create this level of entitlement? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and please keep the discussion respectful. Because this conversation matters, and I'll want to end with the same question we started with. At what point does a fan stop being a fan? Not the mayor.